Morning.
Morning, mate. Alrighty, guys. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome, one and all. What have we here today? Look at gold. Wow. Wow.
Yeah, it looks really good, doesn't it? Hope it closes the end next 10 minutes or so.
Gold's looking alright, my friend. Alrighty, guys. Let's get underway. Enough of that. Alright, guys. As always, here we go. Got how to do this. Good morning. Good afternoon. A very good evening. Hope you're all doing well. We'll start with gold today. So, because gold is actually, it is still moving, isn't it? Looks like the volume might be just about ready to come back in, but we'll do the analysis. I'm not going to rush into it. Yeah, so we'll see what we can come up with moving forward as per the usual on gold and GJ. Apologies, guys, for obviously my absence over the past week and a bit, or been a bit going on. I'll get into that a bit later, but I want to miss out on potential entries. So let's, without further ado, let's get underway and have a look at gold to begin with moving forward. Guys, if you could hit the like button, let the others know we are on stream today. Also, don't feel shy to say g'day. Probably all of you in the stream already have said g'day, so if you have questions, charts, you guys know what to do. Feel free to send those in and I'll get to those shortly. But anyway, guys, let's get cracking and let's have a look at gold. Back on our home turf here today, London session, so a lot more comfortable during a London session. All right, so looking at gold and the previous weekly candle, a very strong bullish candle. So based off that, looks likely, and now we have a high low high. We've not really created a lot of wick. I will mark it in. I was gonna say normally I mark it in, but I'm not gonna bother this time. I will mark it in though, just see if we have got any structure flipping at all below that particular level on the M30. So weekly strong bullish candle, where can we potentially pull back to? Well, got this level over here to the left that we broke out, the previous all-time high. Doesn't mean necessarily going to pull all the way back down to that level there either way. But anyway, let's see what we can see once we go down to the daily 4 hour and M30. So we know it's bullish across the board. The daily is bullish, high low. There's the current daily candles low. Once again, we're going to see what we potentially have below that point if we are to look for any sell options. Let me turn the music down a bit. Forgot to do so. So bullish. Now, where could we potentially pull back to based off that previous daily count? So let's mark in the 50% of that previous daily count, which is also a very strong bullish candle. And let's just see what that lines up with. Not sure if it does line up with anything in particular, but nonetheless, we'll mark it in and we'll see if we've got any level at that point the price could potentially pull back to grab some liquidity before we form support to head back up. 4 hour, we know it's bullish too. We have the current candle of basically, well, on this particular broker, IC markets, it's about to close. It has no low wick, but that's all right. It's about to close. We've got counter probabilities to the upside, into clean traffic to the left. As far as targets, you're just going to be targeting those round numbers. There is not much else you can really target, to be honest. I'm going to mark in the most recent support we have formed. As far as resistance, we're going to go down to the M30. So the 4 hour's not going to flip structure anytime soon. Now let's look at the M30. So the M30 has just created a higher high. Finally, create a higher high to this swing point. So therefore now, structure will technically flip back bearish below this support, but will not be selling it below that support because it's running straight into this support. So quite simple for me on gold. As far as resistance, I had a 15-minute level marked in because I was finding it hard to find a solid level on the M30. I'm just going to mark in that on the M15. What we can see is we are attempting to break that level just now. Well, we have broken it, but we have not yet confirmed a closure above it. Still lacking the volume in my opinion at this point. So moving forward on gold, it's a few very simple options. I'm going to remove the 50% of that previous daily candle. Looking for buys so long as we remain bullish in the M30. Bullish across the board. Now option A will be above the high. Now right now we want to see a strong closure above it. We don't want to see it close as is, because that to me doesn't really suggest much. If anything, it suggests potential exhaustion once again at the highs. A little bit of a pause on 15 would have been nice if that closed a bit stronger and we paused above the resistance. So what I really want to see is, as I mentioned before, a strong closure above. Look for, now let's actually look on a 5 minute. We have technically had a closure above. All right, so therefore, so long as this candle closes above the resistance, above the high, all I need is a bit of a lower wick on a new candle. We don't necessarily need to pull back and tap back into this resistance for it to be valid upon a buy above, upon continuation above the catalyst candle's high. But for the time being, I want to see how this candle closes. Now, further buy options, obviously, upon the pullback, guys. If price starts come back down towards that 25.78 sort of level, form another support around that point there, then I'm obviously going to be looking for my catalyst and price action for a potential buy as well. So, very simple moving forward on gold today. Only interested in buying it at the moment unless we've got a catalyst to do otherwise, which will be 30-minute structure flipping in the opposite direction, which won't really happen until below support. So let's just quickly have a look at it. Checking something out, guys. I have another valid entry, to be honest, based off 5 minute time frame. But once again, I would prefer for this candle to close strong above in order for me to really trust the entries at the moment. Seeing it's still very early, seeing we haven't really had much of volume leading into up towards the high. So the catalyst right now will be that closure above. So perhaps let's wait. Let's quickly look at GJ. Is there anything? The GJ is not that far off a potential entry as well, guys. I feel GJ upon continuation below the current daily candle's low is also potentially a valid option moving forward. I know we're running into some support here to the left, but the bias across the board is bearish. It'd be creating a lower low, continuing to create lower highs, lower lows within the current daily candle as well, since we've created the upper wick. So for me, it wouldn't make sense upon continuation, but for the time being, let's just keep a bit of an eye on gold, guys, before we move on to actually have a look at GJ. So the catalyst at this point is the closure above. Want the closure above. And then I will look for a potential buy upon continuation. So high is let me just checking out on my MetaTrader. High is 54, 25.89, 54. So I'll be looking around 25.90, 70. If this candle closes above, it has to close above. Sexy, good morning to you. Franco, good morning to you, brother. Carl F, good morning as always. Fully rested. I'll explain my nightmare for the past few days. Vishal, good morning to you. That's I've had problems with that name. Sorry, my friend. I know you're on the stream regularly. I'll just call you Megano. That's easy for me. Good morning to you. And Brad, good afternoon to you, mate. Hope you're well. $40 seconds remain, guys. Let's see. The hourly is looking pretty good as well. Would have been nice if this was closure of the hourly as well. It is the closure of the hourly. Now, little pause play. If this candle just pops straight down, I might look for a limit order buy at 25.86.80 roughly at high. That is the only option right now, in my opinion. You could buy it above the high, but we don't quite have the catalyst. So what I'm now looking at is the pause play on the hourly. And what's the high of that bearish candle? 79, 25.86.79.
Looks like we're gonna be here a while. Dang airline.
Jake, mate, just mute if you could. $86.79. Alright, so I'm looking at pause play based off this of the interruption just here. We've got a candle closing back in the opposite direction to the impulse to the upside. Now the other option is 50% of that candle. Sometimes we'll often see when you've got a engulfing candle like this one, which is a very strong engulfing candle, sometimes the volume pull back towards 50% of that candle, not necessarily all the way back down to that pause candle high. So, I mean, that's the other option. Now, continuation buys. So, give me a few different options here, guys. Continuation buys. Let's have a look at that. Now, the 5-minute potentially got a valid entry. But I'd rather get in on the pullback, if I'm to be honest. Alright. At the moment, I'm just waiting for the pullback. I'm waiting on a limit order entry based off the hourly time frame. So my limit order is set for literally that point. It's the exact same number on IC markets. Well, this is IC markets, so it should be the exact same number chart I'm using. So 2869.79 is where I've got a limit order buy set at the moment. Now, for those interested, there is a valid entry above the high upon continuation based off the 5-minute, and that would purely mean buy stop above the high. Stop loss would be probably below the 30-minute low. That is this second option. Now, that entry, in my opinion, will be above the previous candle's high. So it's around 70. So you're looking at 25.89.70. For that particular entry. And that entry you probably just about triggered in. Your price 70, right on. It's stop loss, you wouldn't be triggered in just yet. So they're the options on gold. DJ just consolidating. Quickly, let's have a look at the news, guys. There's not much. I had a quick look before. In regards to our session, there is nothing. We've got Empire State Manufacturing Index later on, moving forward for the US dollar, which may have a little bit of an impact. But the big news comes tomorrow with retail sales. Yeah, so not much in the way of news for today, which is pretty good for our session. So that's currently what we're potentially looking at, not in any trade just yet, guys. Now, the limit order, in my opinion, is now invalid because what we've done is we've broken high of that previous candle. My concern would be now if we do pull back down, seeing we've created up a wick, tag us in, we may actually close back a bearish candle So definitely now more interested in the buy stop, because seeing we've created the upper wick, I'm now pulling back to create deeper lower wick. If we were now to remain bearish and remain below this high, then we have no need to pull back and break our own high yet again. So that is where I will be looking personally for an entry right now. So not in just yet. Looking for buys above this bearish candle's high. So the limit order I'm just going to remove. And it's just simply me reacting to the rules. It still, if you are interested, triggers you in. Up to you if you guys want to keep the position. But I'm just going to wait. So in the meantime, let me send an alert and we'll analyze GJ so we don't miss out in case there is any potential entry. All right. So if you could, guys, smash the like button. Friends, no, I'm not in any entry at the moment. So looking at GJ and looking at previous weekly candle, and that was a strong bearish candle closure in the end. So strong bearish and weekly. We've got this wick to the left hand side, likely going to be some sort of support once we go down to the daily and week 4-hour time frames and 30 so on. So based off the previous weekly though, we could mark in a fib and just see if it does line up with something as well. Marking 50% and see what sort of, if we've got any level of interest to be concerned about that level where price could potentially pull back to former resistance to reject, or if we pop above, maybe perhaps we'll continue bullish. So looking at on the daily time frame, we are technically bearish. We've got a lower high, lower low, a little bit more room to the left by the looks of it on the daily time frame, down towards that 183 flat sort of level. So we count probabilities to the downside. We have not much of a need or to really pull back and break our own high. To do so, let's just see if we're going to be flipping any structure to give us some sort of catalyst to look for a potential buy. Looking at the 4-hour, structure wise, it is also bearish, and probability wise to the downside. And as far as targets, we've still got this area here. I'd be targeting around that 183 15 16 sort of level. That's the target in the 4-hour. As far as resistance, the most recent resistance lines up with the current daily candle's high. There we go. There could be a catalyst at that point for potential buys above it. Onto the 30-minute time frame, and have we created a lower low? Not just yet, guys. Interestingly enough, the lowest point of the impulse to the downside is this wick, this bullish candle wick. We have not yet closed below it. Potentially we could be doing so shortly. The reason why I want to know this is because if we do create that lower low, we will be flipping some structure a lot earlier, as opposed to at this rate flipping structure at this point here. We can flip the structure above 185 flat, just above that point. So we are technically bearish across the board. Just quickly looking at gold. Nothing just yet. So it's technically bearish across the board. Within a current daily candle, we have formed support at this point here. Now to the left of it, little bit of support at this point here. Now we don't have a great deal of margin, but with the momentum, with the volume picking back up just now, if we, well, potentially picking back up just now, if we begin to close right near this low, I'm going to contemplate some sell options on a GJ in anticipation I can get to break even if we do tap into that support to the left, and at that point there I can begin to manage the trade. So sells below the low upon continuation in a downtrend will make absolutely perfect sense for me. Not going to be interested in buying it until we actually flip the structure bullish. So for me, I'm not considering it bullish until we pop above this 185 sort of level. So anywhere in between, look for sells at the most recent resistance formed on the pullback, on the drop within the current daily candle at 184.730 roughly. If we do pull back, once again, seeing to the downside, and the leg to the downside is the most recent swing point. If we do pull back and reject, I could look for a sell, and I'd also be looking for a sell below his 4-hour resistance as well, guys. So below really 185 flat. So that is my opinion of GJ. We could be looking at potential sell options. Quickly back to gold. Now, if this 15-minute closes a relatively strong bearish candle, I remove the buy stop and I wait for the following 15-minute candle. Once again, there's no ifs, buts, maybes. It's all planned, completely planned, following my rules and nothing else. So keep an eye on GJ as well. So how are we, guys? Talk to me. Who's in trades right now? And first of all, let me know what you think of gold. Do you think we're going to continue to the upside? If you do, type it. Why? Yes. Think we're going to make a bit of a pullback before we continue, or if we're going to make a deeper pullback, type E for pullback. So U for up. We'll go U for up, continue to the upside, and P for pullback. What do you guys reckon? Let me know. Oh, P. All right. And it looks like it could be doing so. So I'm going to remove that order just now. It's pulling back a little bit too far. I'm going to wait for the 15-minute closure, and I might put it back in, or I'll have to wait for another candle closure. Thank you, Carl, for your response. Anyone else there to participate? That'd be much appreciated, guys. I need your support, guys. I need you to help push my stream out there, and one of the only ways to do so is by actually being active in the chat. I've had a look at it. It helps to tick the algo off. It helps show that people find the content engaging and interesting. So I really need you guys to help me, you know, with the chat if you can. Ask me questions, send charts if you have. Respond to my questions. That would be fantastic. So what do you reckon? Are we pulling back on gold, or are we going up? Let me know, guys. Need more than just one. Steve, thank you, mate. Pull back. More into you, by the way. Hope you're well. Yeah, oh, much better. Absolutely felt probably the worst I've felt in God knows how long. I honestly was about to rush myself to the hospital. So for those of you who didn't know why I wasn't on stream the last few days, is I had really bad food poisoning. It must have been food poisoning. It wasn't alcohol. It definitely wasn't from alcohol. I only had like 2 beers. I don't drink much anymore at all, to be honest. I woke up Thursday morning at 6 a.m. in agony. My stomach was in agony, and I did not stop throwing up until about 11 a.m. and nothing in my gut. I was just throwing up. Obviously, you know, at that point you're throwing up, you know, bile and that. It's disgusting. Oof. So it's put me off pizza, that's for sure, because that's one thing I had that night. It's put me off peanuts. That's another thing. That was probably it, to be honest. Sketchmas more into Franco pullback. Yep, well, it looks like it could be trying to do so at the moment. So for yesterday was the first day I could actually stomach food and feel fine about it. But Thursday and Friday, I hardly touched a thing. It was just basically electrolytes and some water. A little bit of rice, but I really didn't want to eat it. I just didn't feel like it. And yesterday, Saturday, a little bit more. I started to eat a little bit more, but again, I was very cautious. And yesterday was pretty much back to normal, which is good. So ended up losing almost 3 kilos, 2.7 kilos, I think it was in the end. Joe, pull back, nice one. Thank you, guys. So I've been eating a lot of protein yesterday and today, and carbs as well. Just trying to pack the calories back in. Cami, good day to you. Welcome. Guys, if we could make sure hit like button. So it's all right. Gold, we could get buys upon the pullback. And GJ just now consolidating, not much in regards to options right now on GJ as well. How is the land side? It's pretty good, other than the bout of food poisoning, but yeah, otherwise it's all good. Hot, rainy. Drove through some pretty deep flash flooding the other day, actually, in the Hilux. Yeah, still there. There's been some really bad flooding, really bad. Worse than, I think it's 12 years. I was at that one, so I was here during that flood as well. That was really bad. That was worse than this one. Basically, up north, it's just they've been underwater and under some serious water, 4 meters in some parts and that. So it's terrible what you see in the news here. You feel so sorry for them. A lot of people lost everything. Not much you can do though. Luckily where we are, we don't really, we get flash flooding, but we don't get anything serious. Alrighty guys, so in the meantime, who would like me to take a look at, let's have a look, GU, we'll go GU. If you want me to take a look at GU, type 1 in the chat and I'll do that for you. I'll say I need at least 5 ones and I'll do it. I think that's fair. Having crazy man, stay safe. Yeah. Like I said, I drove through some flooding the other day. Yeah, the Hilux is fine. It wasn't that bad. It was probably, I don't know, maybe 40 centimeters deep, I'd say. It wasn't that bad. Got 2 ones. Anyone else? Care to drop a 1? If you're interested in GU, and I'll happily take a look at it for you. Rounds? Not a problem. Alright, there's enough ones there. Alright guys, I'll have a look. Sharif, by the way, I just read that message you sent into the Discord, and yeah, no worries, we can, I mean, so far it's the only reply, so that's the winning one so far, all good. Alright, so let's look at GU in the meantime. We've got 11 minutes, I'm not going to enter any gold trade right now. I'm going to wait now for this candle to close yet again, seeing we have created a bit of a pullback. If we close back near the high, I will look to place the buy again for the next M30. GJ, need to wait for this candle, see if it closes below, or right near the low, to give me the confidence that we could continue to the downside. All right, so I just drew up a chart on GU, but I'll draw it up again. So looking at GU, and let's do the top down analysis. So as I mentioned in the members update prior to the stream, I would actually consider this the weekly bullish based off the current candle. We are now above the high of the previous candle. The goal from the previous candle, we have a high, low, high, high. Previous candle tapped into this resistance to the left, leaving a long wick to the downside. That suggests to me that we've likely grabbed liquidity from the downside, and seeing we've now broken the high of that previous weekly candle, feels a high probability we will now continue to the upside. So I'm going to call it strong bullish very early into the week, looking at the daily, and that is also technically bullish in structure. We have now broken the high of that previous daily candle. So based off that, let's just mark in the previous daily candles low, see if we're flipping any structure at all on the minor time frame below that level. We are technically bullish with counter probabilities to the upside with a bit of margin, not a great deal, but enough on GU for buys on continuation. Looking at the 4 hour, Structure wise, it's also flipped bullish. We have just formed support, creating high lows, high highs, obviously. Marking that as resistance. As far as support, as far as resistance, we'll wait until the M30. Marking those highs on the 4 hour. And on to the 30-minute time frame now. Got that level there. And for me, I'd be all about the buys. It's bullish across the board on GU right now, so therefore for me today I'd be looking for the buy options. Buy option 1 would be above the high on continuation, above the resistance form. The good thing is price has just made a pullback at the high. If it now closes back above it, then I would just want to see a little pullback to retest and look for continuation buys on the following candle. Further options, in my opinion now, I'd just be looking to see potentially where we could pull back to within the current daily candle, form a support for a buy. We've got the second option here, 131.40. Price did pull back to that level, form a support above it. Once again, when I say form a support, I have catalyst candles. My guys know about catalysts. I mean, they should know. I've done many videos on what our catalysts are that we need to look for. So when I speak of what I'd be waiting for as a catalyst at this point, those of you who join on the regular would understand exactly what I mean. So I need to see price pull back to that level and wait for my catalyst for a buy. Further options from the support lower down is also what I'd be looking at on GU. So simple, only interested in buying it. That's just as per my rules on a Monday. Bullish across the board, trade in line with the trend, trade in line with the bias, trade in line with the structure. That is me for GU. Hopefully that made sense. And hopefully it might make you some dollars later. I'm just, once again, lining up gold. Not sending any order just yet. But I'm getting my magic keys verticals. Horizontal, sorry, not verticals. In position. Greco, GU, nice one. Yeah, JJS is consolidating, so at the moment it looks likely that we could be looking at potential gold options. Remove that. An alert. Went to the gym for the first time today in about 5 days. Or longer, sorry. In a week. There was no way I could go the past 3 or 4 days. Just no chance. It was either the nuts at this concert, and it wasn't bar nuts at this discussion. If it was bar nuts, I wouldn't touch it. It was, we actually purchased the nuts, so it should have been pretty safe, but obviously it wasn't. Or it was pizza from a foreign restaurant, so nothing from the street. Street food's good food. A 5 minute again. Yeah, I don't eat random bar nuts either. You have to read that a few times. It's... yeah. Stump me there. It was that bloody concert too, mate. I got sucked in. I had no choice in the end. I generally stay away from bars. I know what you're talking about too, by the way. France, does IC markets has no spread on gold? And no, it does. I'm not sure about Bitcoin. It does on gold. It would have on Bitcoin for sure. 100% it would be quite a wide spread as well. Gold, it's, what is the spread right now? Less than a pip. It's about 0.7.8 of a pip. Bitcoin. Yeah, Bitcoin, it's fair bit. It's about 15 bucks by the looks of it. No forex brokers who have really good spreads on crypto. You need to go a specialist broker. Hugo's Way is a good one for those who want to trade both forex and Bitcoin or cryptos. Obviously Bybit. Bybit's the best if you're purely just trading crypto. In my opinion, Bybit is really, really good. As soon as any broker replicates Bybit's platform to trade from, I would jump straight across. I'd jump ship. It is by far the best trading terminal I've ever used. Very simple. It's a little bit confusing when you look at the start, but what it is, for those who don't know, it's basically trading view. It's literally a trading view chart. And you got this terminal here. Let's say what order you want, limit, buy limit, sell limit, market execute, whatever, what leverage you want, all that type of stuff. So it's very simple to use. Mr. Phil, thank you. Friends, that's low. Okay, XM has 30 to 50 spread on gold. So 3 to 5 pips. That's, yeah, that's wild. Can't be having that if you're a scalper. Look, on gold, I would not want more than 2, to be honest, but it's going to be hard to find that. I see. That's why I like IC markets, because they're right now it's half a pip at the moment, but it fluctuates between about that and around a pip max. Even when was it? Last on Wednesday, before I was ill, I did a call with the members. I've been watching the news. Even during the news, it didn't go nuts. The spread stayed around 1. I think it jumped at 1 point to 2 for like a split second, and straight back to 1. My transfer IC markets, yeah, it's good for scalp, but you have to go with the raw spread account. You're gonna be paying commission on that, but much better when it comes to scalping. GJ looking like we're closing back in consolidation, so there is zilch, absolutely nothing we can do with GJ. And gold as well doesn't seem to be quite ready. So we've got 30 minutes until session open. Now let's just see. I may still consider a buy based off the 15-minute time frame. We start closing above. Those few who have not hit like button, if you could, be much appreciated. Now, if this thing just breaks, I'm going to go down to the 5-minute for options and just see what we've got. Is that, don't want to miss the move, but I still need to validate an entry. I'm not just going to buy stop the high, because we've rejected on this 30, reject on the 15, and we've done nothing within the new current 15 to suggest that we're gonna, once we break, continue to the upside. So I could go down to the 5 minute and just see what's going on if we begin to break and look at that for potential options. But for the time being, I'm going to need to at least wait another 15 minutes. Friends, no, there's no news. It's a pretty quiet day as far as news. Obviously, it's Japanese bank holiday. So hence why GJ's probably been consolidating for the most part. And the other option, if we do close above on the next candle, is the pause play once again. Or I take it on 15 or 30, remains to be seen. Alright, so this candle pulling back, about to break low of the previous, so again there is no option right now for me. In the meantime, guys, feel free to ask questions. Trading related, non-trading related, anything. Just get this chat flowing a bit. Well, look at that. Movement order buy in the end would have got the chocolates if it would have tagged it in. It looks like it probably would have too. Bounce right off it. There you go. Well, good to see it anyway. Bouncing off that level again at the moment. Interesting, very interesting. Alright guys, who's in trades right now? Gar? Let me know. Type Y for yes, N for no. Me? So no. Browns? No. Charlie, waiting. Yeah, it's interesting to see it literally pulled back to that high of that bearish candle twice and bounced off it. So, I mean, good to note, take note of. Tim by GU, Carlin. Sean, good day to you, mate. Hope you're well. Yeah, GU does look pretty good. A little bit concerned by rejecting the high. But it is, if it breaks the high again and high lows, high highs, it's coming to the time volume. It's more probable to make the move than the previous times. DJ. So like I mentioned, if gold begins to break, what I'm going to do is go down to the 5-minute time frame and I'm going to see what presents. If something does present, and I will look to execute a trade if I get the right catalyst. If I get the right validation to do so. If I don't, I need to accept that it's not my move. Sean, all good? Nice one. Yeah, much better, mate. Much better, thank you. Beats trade, here we go. Potentially. I'm assuming you might be looking for buy stops. I've got options. I've got either the 5-minute to show me something, which I don't quite have yet, or I could look for the pause play in a 15-minute. If this does close considerably above, engulfing a high, then I can set a limit order buy on the next M15 high bearish candles. They're my two options right now. But I'm not going to just set a buy stop at the moment. We'll focus on gold. JJ is still a little bit indecisive. Good guys, sorry to harp on about, but if you could hit like button, it really does help generate viewers to the stream. Oh, I've been away for a bit, but still never that far away. Especially my guys, they know they can always contact me. It's TP BTC 1k in the morning. I hope gold can give me a little surprise too for this chart. Nice one. I'm watching the 15 for the time being. Sean? No, not much, mate. Just recovering from last week, from being violently ill for a couple of days. Back to the gym today. Back eating pretty much everything yesterday and today, so I'm trying to stack the calories so I can put the weight back on. I was so sore too. I could barely move, honestly. When I was laying down, I couldn't get up. I needed someone to help me. I was that in pain, and that wasn't the stomach at that point. That was just my body with the stomach as well. So whatever it was a pretty bad yeah, few days. Cheers, man. It's funny because no one else got sick. And I'm crazy when it comes to hygiene, honestly, guys. I wash my hands a million times a day. A little bit of a germaphobe, but not that bad. But I always have to smell good and all that. Yeah. Well, oh, you need to know details, but I shower quite often here because the heat. Sweat. I don't feel comfortable showering. So who knows? Maybe it's a little bit too precious, and that's what got me ill. Don't know. GJ, still in heavy consolidation, but are we finally about to break? We've got 17 minutes right now. I'd be waiting for London Open to present and see where we're at for any potential option. I wouldn't be trusting the 15 because we're still consolidating. This rate, we're not closing below it anyway, so below low. So I'd just be patiently waiting. Gold, 15 minute looks like it's not closing above the high for the time being. Once again, I'm likely at this point going to be waiting until London Open, but we'll see. The calm before a storm, before it goes on to create another bigger all-time high. Still personally of the belief that gold is just going to continue. I don't think it's going to pull back. It will make pullbacks, but I think gone are the days of below 2,000 personally. But it could though, anything could happen. If I were a betting man, I'd say gold is still got plenty of room to the upside. I think 5,000 eventually, and not saying it's going to happen this year, not saying it's going to happen next year, but in the future, it's just going to keep going, gold, in my opinion. Alright, so 15 is about to close, and it, for me, it's done nothing to suggest where I can trust the buy above the high at the moment. Thomas, 25.90, cycle level. Yeah. but there were plenty of other psychological levels on the way up that it had no respect for. So I'm just playing it technically. At the moment, not quite a strong enough catalyst. I mean, it's a liquidity candle. If it were the 30 in London Open, I'd place buy stops above the high, to be honest. But I'd rather wait and see those 30-minute closes now. So that's what I'm gonna wait for the 30. And if it does close significantly above, I'm gonna look for limit orders at London Open. Or look for the 5-minute time frame to see what options I've got based off that. GJ's dropped. 15's closed right at the support, bouncing at the support here to the left on the 30-minute support. All right. What I really like to see in the next 15 minutes is at least a 5-minute closure below. And then another candle closing back bullish, retesting the zone, and then only for it to be followed by another candle closing back below this zone and closing the M30 bearish below. And that potentially could provide sell options below the 30-minute low in the end. Why I want that to happen is because at that point within the catalyst candle, the candle closes below the support, you'll have a candle retesting it, you'll have another candle rejecting it, closing back below, and then you open, bit of an upper wick, and potential entries as it begins to break the catalyst candles low that was to present. Gold just broke and it's pulling back. Yep, sure. Hey guys, those who have not hit like button, if you could, I would much appreciate if you could do so. Joe, on GJ, why are you not concerned by support left 11th of September? Talking about that, I've marked it in, so it's tapped into it, but the entry will likely be below. I'm not concerned by these wicks because it's not a bullish wick, or it is bullish in a 15, but you got momentum, you've got lower highs, lower lows in the current daily candle, you got structure on your side, you got volume, so I feel it's a high probability it's going to continue to make a nice move to the downside. That's just me. Again, if you're concerned by it, you got to be comfortable in the trade, so you'd have to wait again for another catalyst if that's the case. It looks like it's ship sailing anyway. Very, very hard to trust that. Very, very difficult. Because I look at it thinking, well, why didn't this candle just melt when it broke the low of that candle? Why didn't this candle melt when it broke the low of that candle? Why didn't this candle melt when it broke the low of that candle? So on and so forth. Every one of these candles have made an attempt to drop only to fail. So in my opinion, it's best just to wait for the confirmation. And if the confirmation happens to make the move, it makes the move. Nothing you can do about it. So for me on GJ, probably need for it to set up again. Probably need a little pause and then continuation sells. By the looks of it, gold's still rejecting. Sure, first thing to like, that's, thank you, mate. Appreciate it. Joe, no worries, mate. Hope you've been well too, by the way. How about GU? Is that GU? Wow, GU's looking good. Nice closure in 15 yen. Wow. Yeah, JJ is a bit of a tricky one because limit orders will not be that bad, but it's come from consolidation, so it's not great. But the issue for me is it's tapped into target. And to me, it's very difficult, to be honest. I would have preferred for this to close right near the low. While pulling back a bit further. That's all right. So I'm likely just still waiting on gold, guys. So we've got London Open coming up, and we'll see what that brings in the next 8 minutes. Yeah. Thank you for joining, one and all. Pretty lousy gym session. Got quite flat, obviously. Sort of expected it, but gotta start again somewhere, so sometime. All right, so for those of you who just joined, we're not in any trades just yet. Still looking for gold buys, but nothing's been valid in my opinion. Got no confirmation just yet. So buys could come now upon the pullback. GJ just made a move from consolidation. A little bit concerned by the fact that we've tapped into a target here to the left, so it's going to make it difficult right now. Limit order potentially. We're looking at 15 again. Fifteen's got a little bit of room. No TikTok, by the way, guys. Just now it's not suspended, but I'm very scared to actually touch it while I'm here. Even with the VPN, it didn't work last time. So I think I'm gonna hold off until I get back to Oz to start streaming again on TikTok. Unfortunately, TikTok guys talk a lot. They really talk. So guys, feel free, talk, ask questions.
Hey, good morning.
Good day, Franco. How are you?
Hi, fine.
That's
So,
it.
You're getting better?
Yeah. I'm sorry. It's a little bit hard to hear you. Yeah, I'm much better. Much better. Thank you.
Good to hear.
Yeah, it was not good at all. Thursday and Friday were terrible days, especially Thursday. Friday was a little bit better, but not much better, and Saturday was okay. But yesterday and today much better.
So you had some issues with the food.
I think it must have been the food, to be honest.
Okay.
So, yeah. Everything good with you?
Yeah, so far. So I'm in the GU buy.
GU buys.
Yeah, my entry point is 131,669, and I'm up to 3 pips right now.
Oh, you're in 15. Nice one.
Yeah, I was a little bit too late. Yeah, maybe 1 or 2 pips too late.
Yeah.
But okay, but still in profit right now, and I'm looking maybe coming closer to the M50 resistance. I have an M50 resistance, and coming from the left side, and a little bit upper. I put it a little bit upper, correct.
Yep.
And this would be my target right now.
Nice one. Yeah, it's looking pretty good. Looks like it's got the volume. So
yeah, and maybe before London Open, maybe I can get the push in the
Yep.
right direction, and then close it.
nice one. Yeah, I think it's a nice strong closure in the 15. That's your catalyst.
Yeah, I've seen also EU is also coming up, so in the same way as EU.
Yep.
So
Yeah, it looks pretty good too. Very similar. Very similar.
yeah.
Yep, nice one.
Thanks.
Hey guys,
G'day mate, how are you?
Hello.
how about you?
Not bad mate, not bad. Thank you very much.
How is it going?
All good, just been waiting for potential gold options, but buys keeps rejecting, so it's nothing just yet. Pulling back, I'm not going to sell it today. I believe on Monday is trading the strength of the previous weekly candle and the direction of the structure itself and the bias, which is bullish across the board on gold. So I'm not going to try to sell it today unless I have a catalyst to do so, which is structure flipping bearish, which won't happen for quite some time. So that's the case. I'm waiting for support to form and waiting for my buy confirmation from the pullback. Otherwise, buys above the high. GJ,
It's great.
GJ's just GJ. Might even close back above, all we know. GJ's a bit difficult level with that.
Yeah. It's also, I think it's moving into a weekly level as well, so. No. It's not the same. No, not this. Sorry, I
You look at
was
some-
looking at EJ instead.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But a little bit confused with
Yeah, EJ is at a weekly. Yep.
currently I'm in a GU buy,
Yep, nice one. Same as Franco.
but I had mine way earlier. I got in
Good.
at 131,350.
Oh, nice one. You got him from here.
Yeah.
Yep.
On a 2 hour, I had like a bullish engulfing on the very first candle, 2 hour candle of the day, so I just took it and broke the high.
Nice one.
And
Fine,
went to
bro.
bed, woke up, it was up here.
Yeah,
So
nice one.
I took cash out already. I'm just waiting to see what happens on the rest.
Good work. Great start to the week.
Yeah.
France, would have much viewers in TikTok then. Yeah, and TikTok is a shit ton more. Is what it is. So we got London Open. Gold, there is nothing for me right now. I'm not gonna sell. I'm not gonna look to try be a hero and catch the pullback. I'm gonna wait patiently. And oh, that closed with a sudden rush to the downside. No upper wick. No lower wick. Sorry. There's nothing just yet. So the same thing applies for me now on gold. I'm looking for support, or I'm looking for buys above the high. GJ, it's not even closed below, so GJ is a little bit difficult. Look, this was any other day. That was a stronger support. Got no upper wick. I'd probably just market execute a buy in anticipation it's gonna likely pull back up to create an upper wick. Stop loss below the low. But I'm not gonna do it. No way I'm doing it today. It's not quite at a strong enough level as well. It needs to be at a 4-hour support for it to be valid. So there's nothing for me on anything at the moment.
Justin,
Yeah, mate.
please could you do me a favor?
Yep.
What would be your bias on the 4-hour structure on GA?
GA?
Yeah.
Well, that's the high. There's swings here. So I would say it's bearish.
Oh.
Yep. So it's bearish. That's the lowest point. So it's flip structure here. I mean,
Yeah.
I could kind of understand if you were to use that. And so it's bounced off support and it's technically still bullish. But the actual swing is just there. So I'd probably just use that point personally, but it's a bit subjective. Yeah, I would at the moment say it's bearish.
Okay.
30-minute is, it looks a bit bullish. Daily looks bullish.
Yeah, daily is definitely bullish, I would say.
Yeah, so I would say it's neutral at the moment, but I would understand if you told me it's bullish and bias or the overall bias. Based off the 4-hour. If you were saying the 4 hours bullish, I can kind of understand why you might say it's bullish. So let's readjust this zone. Glad I could drink water. Water tasted like absolute crap on Thursday. I couldn't stomach water even. I forced myself to. But it was, I really didn't want to. Electrolytes as well, tried. Righty guys, if you have not done so, please hit the like button, and also let me know, are you in a trade right now? Let me know, mate. Well, mate, I just said mate because Nick jumped on saying afternoon, mate. Afternoon to you. Let me know, guys, are you in a trade right now? Yes or no? Y or N? Me, nothing. I'm patiently waiting for see what his pullback pulls up at on gold for a potential option to buy it. GJ, like I said, didn't like the closure of that previous candle. But looking at what I said before, considering it, you'd probably be at 7-8 pip profit right now. I'd be getting to break even. Again, it's just not for me against the structure on a Monday against bias. Not quite the strongest level as well, but nonetheless, good to see it actually playing out. What I did mention. For some very impulsive buy options. So let's have a look at, you definitely got 10 pips out of that. I called it roughly halfway in. Nick, what was this? You rock me? I think it was pizza or just some peanuts, some salted peanuts. The pizza was a spicy chicken pizza. It wasn't really spicy, to be honest. It was, I don't know, maybe the chicken wasn't cooked through properly, but I doubt it. It seemed to be. So I'm assuming it was nuts, to be honest. Because I think it must have been, because I ate the majority of it, to be honest. I was pretty much the only one to touch it. France in a small lot sell. Okay, on gold, I'm assuming. You are. Nice work. Surely not peanuts, or is nothing in them unless really moldy. Yeah. No, I think they can carry a bit of bacteria. I'm not sure. Well, could have been other people eating them. Maybe didn't have clean hands, or who knows. I mean, who knows how it's prepped. It was at a pub that had a concert on that night, and they were busy, bloody busy. So maybe the person who packed it or put it in on the plate or whatever, I don't know, maybe they don't have clean hands. Who knows? Could have been me touching something. It could be anything, honestly. Whatever it was, fuck, didn't knock me out. I haven't felt like that in ages. Alright, so options for me on gold right now. Well, I need the 30 minutes close back bullish. One option is if this 15 closes bearish, I'm simply waiting for a strong bullish candle in the next M15, preferably engulfing, and that will close the M30 like so. Or this could still flip back bullish and then followed by a weak bearish pause on the following candle. Once again, it's going to close the M30 back bullish, and based on that, I can look for potential buy options, take it back up to the high. So as data prints, I'm just reassessing, and simply all I do is just react to what I see, not what I think will happen. Nick, anyway, see you to find another day on the charts. That's it, mate. Alright, go ahead. to pulling back. Everything pulling back a bit at the moment. Game of patience. What it is what it is. This pullback's fine. The cleaner and the deeper, the more margin and the better it is for us to look for the buyers from lower down. So this is really good. Would not bother me at all for now. Comes back down towards 25.78 and forms support. And once again, I'm just awaiting my price action catalyst for a buy if that is to be the case from lower down. DJ is very tricky, really tricky. For the time being, I would probably prefer it to actually trade a decent pullback. And similar to gold, a clean pullback and then look to sell from higher up. Now, if this candle closed below this blue zone, then technically we're a structural flip back bullish now becomes this point here. So that could therefore become your first point of entry for a buy, and more probable buy in my opinion, above that 184.540. As long as you have the margin up to the next resistance, there could be options to buy it above there, but we'll wait for counter closures. We don't yet have that confirmation. The pre-London candle actually closed right at the low without closing below it, so technically not yet confirmed a lower low. How are we doing, guys? Feel free to ask me questions, guys. Feel free. It'd be good. Once again, only 23 likes. A couple more than that on stream, so a couple of you have not hit the like button. Please, if you could, I'd be very appreciative if you do so. So the 15-minute is almost about to close. And it looks like we're pulling back further. All good. Like I mentioned before, not a problem at all. It just gives us options to buy it lower down. Clean move down. Create some clean candles for us to play within. We just need to wait for a price action catalyst. Jordan, if it breaks where support is, what are your thoughts? Well, it's going to flip the structure bearish on the M30. So technically the swing point is just here, but I wouldn't be selling it into support. To me, it becomes clean below 25.73. But if it flips the structure and then bounces, that will give me options for both the buys and sells. The bias is still technically going to be bullish on the other 3 timeframes. So therefore, it'll be a 3 versus 1 to the upside. So irrespective of the 30-minute structure, I could look for still the option of buys from the support if I get the right catalyst. So maybe a bit of resistance creates a pullback, and then we start to close. The bounce off the support after it flips structure, it pulls back, creates a resistance, and if it breaks above and closes above the resistance, that could be my buy option. But again, if it does flip the structure bearish, so closures below technically say that level there, then I could also look for the pullback, resistance form, lower high, look for my catalyst to sell it from higher up. At least I'll be trading live the 30-minute structure at that point. I don't yet have that to look for to sell at the moment. So that would be my option. That's a really good question. Thank you for asking. Yeah, so that's why I'd be looking at. Anyone else have questions? Feel free. Sounds good. Nice one. Left, do I still get silver occasionally to trade? I haven't been looking at to trade, but I definitely still invest. I've not bought in for a bit. I know against the Aussie dollar, it's up near all-time highs. Against the US dollar, it's at a resistance, I think, to the left. Weekly, so it's at a very strong level though. Very strong bullish candle. Let's just mark them live. Current weekly candle. See if it's gonna flip any structure. I doubt it. Daily. It's also bullish. It's actually bullish from this impulse to the upside. And probability to the upside is just broken a resistance. Nothing that. 4 hour is also bullish. I think it's going to be similar gold bullish across the board. Here's the support. Silver's just stuck in this big range. 4 hour. 30 will remain bullish until these lows. Yeah, if it were me, I'd be looking to buy it. And it's similar to gold, just a matter of where on the pullback, either this point here, use that support as well, or above 30.6 roughly, and sell below it basically. Drag that down. Buys above the high. Let's just put it to the left. Yeah, buys above the high as well. So it'll be all about buying it as well. All right, GJ. So this is when we can start to look for the minor time frames to see what, if any, sort of catalyst have we got. And you have a pause. That's pretty much what I'm going to need to see now. Some sort of pause, and then either the engulfing pause option. So the next candle, for instance, in 15 closed bullish, followed by, and if it's too strong of a bullish candle, it's only to be engulfed by the following M15. Now I can look for a limit order sell. I could look for the bullish candle. Or if this candle closes strong bearish, followed by a weak bullish candle closure on the next M15, then I could potentially look for a continuation sell on the next 730. So there is a few potential options on GJ. I don't have a potential option on 5 minute, however, it's at a level right now. It really needs to clear it. There we go. Almost match the likes to viewers. Sean, you like the rejection? I actually do at the moment. I like it. The fact that I mean, it doesn't bother me if it rejected or continue, but why I like it is because it's a clean one at the moment. So it's tapping into a support. So potentially could form support at this point here. I preferably like it to come back down a little bit lower, but it doesn't have to. I'd still trust it if we do begin to provide, if price action provides a catalyst from the current level. But if it pull back further, even better. But what I like about it, like I said, it's a clean pullback. So it means there's a greater probability that if it did form support and give me my price action catalyst, I'll make another clean move back up towards the high. Up through some of this sort of indecision to the left with this nice clean move. So better in my opinion. So for the time being, I prefer for it to close either near its low or even lower down. I don't want to leave a long wick and close, you know, halfway up or whatever. That's a bit tricky. These panels have no wicks, especially even on the 5 minute. I'm still liking gold. John, can you explain wicks, what they mean, different sizes, see your understanding of having you read them? Well, just, I mean, for me, if this left a long wick to the downside and it's closed back up near its high or closed back bullish, that would suggest it's a liquidity grab. It's grab liquidity from the downside. So likely what is to happen, or doesn't have to happen, but likely in most cases what I see will happen on the following candle is might only have a small lower wick and might not have any lower wick, and then it just begins to flip in line because it's grabbed liquidity from the previous candle from the downside, tap into support. So that is one thing I see. It also provides a little bit of margin for the following candle to continue. Whereas if we don't have the wick, like so, a lot of time you're gonna see it followed by a candle ends up closing perhaps like that. It might pull back to create a bit of an upper wick, or might pop up at the start of the open of the candle, only for it to close back bearish. And that's kind of the residual volume that we had towards the end, or at the end of that candle, which, you know, instead of forming on the actual candle itself. It actually, the upper wick formed on the following candle. And obviously it just depends, like wick set levels, if it taps in. It's different types of liquidity wicks. I mean, if you've got let's just say bearish at this point, got another candle, actually might look something like that, and let's just say it's broken low of the previous candle prior to breaking the high. Once again, at a level of support, suggests to me that this wick has grabbed liquidity from the downside, breaks the high for the previous candle, is likely going to continue, or the following candle will likely continue. So wicks provide margin. They also create zones. So the highest point of any level creates the zone of resistance, the lowest point of any level creates the zones of support, the wicks. And what you often see within those levels, price will reject multiple times. It happens, I mean, a lot of guys will just mark in, let me clear all this. They won't even mark in a zone, I'll just mark in a horizontal. Just say there, there. And if it works for them, fine. But then I'll take an impulse entry here. So that's the impulse. The impulse entry isn't until it breaks the highest point. Because how do you know? I mean, how do you know it's not going to reject and close back below like the other candles? So they provide zones at the high and low. And often you'll see price action gravitate to it, reject it, until it's ready to continue through it. Sometimes it will continue through it in the first occasion, not often though. Unless things are really trending. Otherwise, often you find price is range bound for the most part. So yeah, so hopefully that answers it. This is my opinion of wicks, what they mean, and why I feel they are important to be concerned about. Well, yeah. All right, GJ, still pushing. All right, we cleared, not quite clear low. I'm gonna look to see what eventuates now. Eventually on a 5-minute. May look for a 5-minute pause play. So it won't be valid for at least another till the next 5-minute candle, and that would mean the next 5-minute candle has to close well below the low of the current candle. So we've got the first 30-minute candle about to close for London session. Gold is looking good. I like this. This is good. Might need to wait another 30 minutes for a potential gold buy. GJ could potentially get options within the next candle, but we'll have to wait and see. John, all good, mate. All good. Once again, thank you for the question. Alright, so the candle is about to close. 15 showing some potential signs of exhaustion. 30 minutes still closing back a strong bearish candle. We're at a support. I like this closure. This is good. We don't want it to leave a long wick, closing kind of a nothing candle. This is better. Alright, GJ mentioned now. I'm gonna need to wait 5 minutes. I want this 30, seeing the open of the M30, I want it to create an upper wick. Then if this candle engulfs, I may set a limit order sell potentially, but this candle needs to create an upper wick prior to any of that being valid. just preference. I always prefer to go into a trade with wicks in either direction. Oh god, I wanted to have a wick. To the downside. So 15 and the 30 obviously it's just open up straight bullish. It doesn't really matter because I'm not going to enter in the current M15 or M30. I'm going to wait to see what eventuates. So if this candle, for instance, closes like so, a very strong bullish candle, might have a low wick, might have a bit of an upper wick, followed by that minor pause, then I can look, obviously based off 30 is still going to look like this. Now I can look for a buy in the following M30. Got the confirmation of support forming at previous support here to the left on the M30 over here. So then on the following M30 candle, once again, that candle has to have a low wick. Definitely that has to have a low wick. And as it breaks the high, the catalyst, that's where I look to enter. That's all. Good morning to you. Back home, getting back into things. Not easy, is it? But otherwise, I hope you're all well. Actually, just got nice one. Yeah, we'll have to have a chat. All right, GJ's creating up a whip. That's good. So we'll see. We'll see if there's going to be potential entries. Sure, no, nothing. Nah. Was looking at gold buys up here, but it wasn't valid. So now just waiting. Alright guys, we'll be back in 1 minute. right. I am back. Welcome, welcome, welcome. The GJ scoping GJ sells. Keep a bit of an eye on it in a 5 minute. So I'm preferring a pause play here. So what I mean by that is we're trending to the downside. If we engulf these bullish candle lows quite significantly, I may consider a sell limit order. That's correct. Back below the bullish candles, potentially. How about you, Sean? Have you had any trades yourself today? Glad to see you've been doing well. Oh, yeah. Fair enough, my friend. I swear bananas taste different here. The small ones are better. Oh, what's best fruit in Thailand? Probably mangosteen. That's a cracking fruit. That's so good. Oh, if you get a good one, it's just like a sweet and sour lolly. Obviously, I like a sweet and sour mango, so I don't like the soft one. It's like a, on the outside it's green. It's kind of, I mean, it's not hard. It's a bit rubbery, I suppose, the texture. But again, sweet and sour is so good. Obviously, pineapple is a lot better here, and I find that in Oz anyway. Yeah, that's probably about it. I don't really rate the watermelon. We've got better watermelon back at home, I reckon. And bananas, obviously. We got a few other fruits, I'm not sure the name. I think one's longan. That's fun as well. All good, Sean. No worries. Thank you for joining, my friend. Hopefully I'll catch you tomorrow on stream. So the good thing about GJ is create that lower low. So now the structure will technically flip back bullish above that point there. So I would now consider the buys above it. That would be a catalyst to look for a buy. As long as you got the margin. And I still consider selling it from higher up because the bias is technically still going to be bearish in the other 3 time frames. Obviously, Dorian's a popular one. I actually like it. I hardly ever touch it though. If you get a good one, I think it's quite nice. There's a massive difference between a good one and a shit one. And it's bloody expensive. Oh. Jackfruit, that's another one. Not sure if you guys know that. That's cool. Again, it smells, but taste is different texture. It's quite nice. Definitely more variety. All right, gold 15. Looking good. We won't have the catalyst though. First of all, the 30's got no lower wick. So what I want to see is, again, if this closed very close to bullish engulfing, followed by a little pause on next M15, we're still gonna have a strong bullish closure. I'm not so concerned by it not having that lower wick. Then it'll be the hourly closure. The hourly will close then a weakish bearish candle after tapping into some support here to the left. So I would look to buy it so long as the entry candle will have lower wick, and for me it'd be an invalid option. Top one again, very tough one to trust about the wicks. A nice strong closure in 15. This is good. Once again, now my preference is for this counts close weak bearish. If it doesn't, not much I can do. What are you thinking, guys? Anyone looking at any trades right now? Anyone in any trades right now? Still patiently waiting? Look what we got moving forward. And so there was retail sales tomorrow for the US dollar. Nothing in regards to our session really. Pretty smooth sailing. Then CPI for the pound on Wednesday, so that'll be a big one. We'll be on stream for that. See how that plays out. All right, FOMC on Wednesday NY time, for Wednesday afternoon, for those of you in the UK. Aussie unemployment change. Some more pound news, obviously a big one there with the official cash rate as well. And that is Thursday, so that is later into the day. Pre-NY employment claims, so it's a pretty big week moving forward for the pound, especially retail sales as well on Friday. But beyond for all that is good. So today is the quietest day of the lot. Joseph, the week bearish on an next infinity would be inside bar on M30. Yep, that's still alright, as long as it still closes a relatively strong 30-minute candle. So this kind of has to close as pretty much a doji. Now this is something the sim sessions were backtested a lot, the guys were taking entries based on. Because usually what I want to see is quite the opposite. I want to see candles close like so, if long wick to the downside, but the entries were taken when it's done the opposite have also tend to have worked. Price still essentially doing the same thing. It's breaking minor resistance form. You're still creating a high low on the M30 as well to the previous bullish candle, and it tends to still make the move. That's the sim sessions. We pretty much do one every Sunday. I've only missed one, I think, since I've started the group. Did one yesterday. So that's the beauty of sim sessions. We get to see these sort of things. We can go through multiple entries. We can spot something that tends to play out a fair bit and begin to trust it. Prior to that, I didn't really trust that sort of candle, but it gives me more trust in it now. But at the moment, it's pulling back a lot further, so the M30 might not even close bullish. Sean, no worries, man. No worries, bro. Sorry, I thought you were already off, but all good. If you have a good one, I'll catch you then. Now, GJ pulling back, so that's all right. Could be options from higher up. Once again, planning to move back up. More probable to move back down if it did reject. Are you once again trying to break? Seven and bit minutes. Let's see. Is it going to bounce back up? Now it could still pull back further. There is that possibility. It taps down into the 4-hour lows of the previous 4-hour candle, that support. Bit of a tricky one, that's all. The other option is if this closes a strong bearish candle, I'm waiting for the next M50. And if it closed very close to bullish engulfing, what we've done is form resistance at support, broken above the resistance. That would be enough to suggest we're ready to head back up, in my opinion. We'll see, maybe it's gonna close weak. All right. Probably want it to close above the 50%, in all honesty, M30. Let's see what that will look like on a 15. So that's where I want to see this candle close above. For me to contemplate impulse entries above the M30 high, above this 15-minute minor resistance. Otherwise, it will require me waiting at least another 15 minutes to see when the next candle closes, and if it closes right near the high, then the buyers will be back on the table. Once again, these are the rules. Just planning, creating the rules, and that's, it ticks the box if it does the rules I've created. But bench weights, I can potentially look for an option. If not, I just can reassess, sit and wait. line ball at the moment. Let's see. DJ still pulling back. All about this horizontal. Close above it, would have buy stops on the next candle. If it closed below it, needs to wait 15 minutes. We'll see, and then we might call it after that. Just see where it's at. Alright, so it's closing too strong of a bearish candle. So simple. So buy stop for me. Waiting now for the next M15, so where it closes. M30 still closed back bullish, so I do have some support. Weak support, but it still is support. So if we have it, this M15, once again, it needs to create a lower wick because it's based off the M30 creating high, low. So prior to any entry, I want the M30 having a low wick, and this M15 closed pretty much like so, preferably engulfing, but not necessarily. As long as it closes very strong, looking somewhat like so, then I'd be looking to buy it on the following M15. No worries, Joe. Take care. Thank you for joining. So that's what I'm looking at. I'll stick around for 15 minutes to see. So guys, don't think I'm going anywhere. I'm still sticking around. If you thought that was it. Wait around for this 15-minute candle, see where it's at. Good thing is now it's created that lower wick. That's good. DJ, not a problem. This is good. Nice clean pullback. So this now becomes the 15-minute resistance. And for me, that's the next option to buy it above that point. We're in an uptrend. Upon the pullback we've just created, we're creating resistance at this point here. If we were to continue bearish, if we did pull back, there is a high probability we would respect that level and back down, potentially retest the support at 25.78. Or if we were to start to close back above that resistance, when traffic to the left, there's a high probability it's going to head back up towards the current daily candles high yet again. Let's stick around another 12.5 minutes and just see where we're at. Guys, if anyone has questions as always, feel free to ask if anyone wants me to look at a particular pair. Probably the time to ask. The only stream that does it. Everyone else will say send in a chart. I say I prefer if you send in a chart, but otherwise I'll still look either way. And also, I'm assuming you're all subscribed, but if you've not done so, would appreciate it. Yeah, trying to grow the stream. Well, it takes time. Eventually, we want to be number one. Nice, this is good on JJ. We're in the last hour of the 4 hour as well, guys. So if it were me, if I want to get involved in GJ sells, and I'm looking at this thinking, logically, it looks like there's a high probability it's going to close back a bearish candle. Yeah, it could still flip and close bullish, but if I was a betting man right now, I would hazard a guess it's going to close back bearish 4 hour. So what would I need to see to get involved in a trade in the last, let's just say 30 minutes of the 4 hour candle? Well, this candle closed again on the M15, a bullish candle, only to be followed by a bearish engulfing M15. Then it's going to close back 30-minute bearish candle, a long upper wick. I'd want a tiny upper wick, and I want to be triggered in quite early into the new M30, knowing that the 4 hours only got 30 minutes left, or less than 30 minutes at that point. Pull back down towards its low. So any entries for me on GJ would have to happen very quickly into the new M30. I will not be taking an entry prior to any confirmation of resistance forming on the M30. There's a reason as to why, because looking at that previous M30 count, it's a bullish engulfing candle. To me, it's too strong of a candle to take any entry without the confirmation of a candle closing back bearish on the M30 time frame. Now, my catalyst usually against a candle like this is knowing that the engulfing candle, it's just not going to give you the option. Even if it did engulf, massive stop loss, you're going to have issues there. So my next option is what I just mentioned, where you got 15 engulfing, or you've got a bit of support forming. So this candle closed back bearish followed by a weak pause on the next M15. We'll close the M30 once again back a bearish candle. As soon as price breaks that minor support on the next M30, creates a lower high, lower low. And potentially that could be also a valid option. But once again, you want it to trigger in very quickly into the new M30 candle, knowing there's not much time left on the 4 hour. Now, gold's 4 hours looking like it's going to close a strong bearish candle as well. And it looks like it's going to respect the resistance at the moment.
Check the mic and make sure it sound right, boys. It sound right, boys. It sound right, boys.
Oh, not a problem, mate. Happy to have sat our trades, so I can do one off. Yeah, one of those days. Unfortunately, not much presenting, you know, fashion I'd like for it. Obviously for yourself as well, so nothing wrong with that. But take care, mate. We'll see you tomorrow.
It sound right, boy.
Gold's not going to present. You still could get options from gold lower down. Similar thing, if it does pull back and then form a bit of consolidation and it starts to pop up the consolidation, you can look for the buys from lower down. Otherwise, the next entry point for me is still that 25, 48, 38 at this point. And the only thing that potentially might play out still is GJ within this 4-hour candle. So that person will require this candle not pulling back just now. It has to close near its low. And the next M15 will have to close a weak bullish candle, create that minor support, and then the new M30 opens up, long liquidity wick to the upside, need just a tiny up wick, and then look for sells on continuation below the 30-minute resistance candle, this candle. That's still 15 minutes away from being valid. Last 15 seconds could also make a big difference. Closure like this isn't great, because then if it does break that minor support in the next candle, good chance it's going to actually close the M30 back a weak bullish candle. Which in itself could still be valid based off a reversal pattern. If you had a doji candle closure at this previous support in a downtrend. Gold's breaking. Definitely no confirmation for me. The M15 has no up or a lower wick as well. Look like it's going to be our day for the charts. That's a real tough one. To take that on impulse is very, very difficult with no lower wick as well. Coming from consolidation, 5 minutes as well. For me, it's just no solid entry. That's it, guys. I'll probably now just wait for the 4 hours to close, in all honesty. It's going to be too late, but the only other option would be, as long as it remains above this minor resistance and doesn't take off just now, and then you get again a little pause on the next M15, a weak bearish candle, and the last 15 minutes of the 4 hour, you're going to break the high of this bearish candle. Pause, and potentially that could be an option, but I'm not going to be on the chart, so I've got to prepare to pick up the little man from school. Yeah, so the options, nothing for me right now. So yeah, appreciate those who joined, and thank you for everyone hit the like button. Be back on tomorrow from around the same time. Looking forward to it. Hopefully the markets are a little bit more favorable for us to take some trades, but all good, not stressed at all. Look forward to the educational session with the members. If anyone is interested in the VIP group, you can find it in the description down below. Hit me up for a VIP code if you'd like one. And that's about it. Take care, guys. Trade safe. Don't do anything stupid. I look forward to seeing you all again tomorrow. Guys, bye.
Thank you,
Cheers.
man.
See you guys.
Bye.